Live for Inter Miami against Porto. We are live. We've just watched Denmark get absolutely battered by Romania in the Under-19s Championship, and now we are live here for the Club World Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, Inter Miami against Porto. We are 3.5 minutes in, so I need to just make sure the clock is all set. One sec, there you go. We're all set. And yeah, we'll be back with hang on, we have got the kits right. We have got the kits right. We're all good. Porto very nearly conceding there, Porto. Right. Sorry. Slightly late start because we were switching over from the other one, which has literally just finished in the last few minutes. But yeah, before we get stuck into the game, before we get stuck into the live, I do just want to say big thank you to our sponsors, Match Bingo. If you haven't yet, please go and check Match Bingo out. That could be a penalty. It's not going to be a penalty. Yeah, please go and check Match Bingo out. You can scan the QR code, which is on screen right now, or you can click the link in my description if you want to go and check Match Bingo out. If you deposit £5, if you set up an account, deposit £5, you get £10 free to check Match Bingo out. And if you like a game, of bingo, or if you like a bet on the football, I am sure you will love Match Bingo. So yeah, go and check them out, and a big thank you to Match Bingo for continuing to sponsor Premier League Dad throughout the upcoming season. And with that said, let's get stuck in. I can see the chat's already coming in on both, so one sec, we'll get to that. I do just want to say the lineups as well. We'll go through the lineups while we're here. FIFA Club World Cup, Inter Miami. Right, so it's Ustari in goal, who had a very good game in the first game, didn't he? Weigand at the back with Frey, Falcon, Picard and Allen. Midfield is Allende, Kramashi, Busquets and Segovia, with Messi and Suarez up front. Admittedly, it's a Suarez only with one knee, and it is a Messi that's still very good, admittedly. But I think there's a check here already for a penalty. I think this was a penalty. If this is the Porto one at the other end, I think this is a pen, because he nips inside him. That'd have been soft. You can't give that. He's going to give this, isn't he? He is going to give this. I don't think that's a pen, he is. He's going to give it. It's a penalty. Here you go. It's going to be a pen to Porto. After a VAR review, we have decided penalty to Porto. It's going to be a penalty. Right, hang on 1 second. YouTube, substub, why timeout me? Oh, substub. Dude, have a minute. You were substub. You were chilled out for half a minute, cause you were doing it, cause you were asking for it. You asked for it. You asked for it, and you got it. So chill. I'm ADHD and autism. I am a joker. Yeah, what's that going to do with that? You can take a joke. You can't take a joke. Then don't joke. You joked. I joked back. Chill out. Relax. We're all still friends. It's all good. Ethan, I call everyone mate. Exactly. Just relax. Substub. Just relax. It's all chill. We're all good, mate. Right. Penalty to come here. Samu is going to take it. Dominico, ciao, how's it going? G. Lawrence, still think Trent's the best right back in the world after that performance last night. Listen, one bad performance doesn't mean anything. Substop, half a minute, I wouldn't have minded, but it was a full stream. Alright, I'm sorry. If you don't want it to happen again, don't ask to be banned. You literally needed, you literally asked to be banned. You asked, so I put you in timeout. I would say, personally, chill out crying. It's 1-0, there you go, Samu. Yeah, it's one. If chill out crying, if you're that upset, then just move on. Just forget about it. It's one little nothing incident. I'm over it. You should be over it too. I was joking, bro. Right, well, cool. Well, so was I. You was joking, I was joking. What's the problem? We're all joking. Samu with a goal. 1-0 for Porto from the penalty spot. Ustari with a wonderful save in the first game. Couldn't quite keep that out. 26th goal this season. Are we still on this season? Can we still count that as this season? You can't have that. Oh, do you know what? Is anyone else getting this, by the way? With DAZN. Obviously, you can watch the FIFA Club World Cup on DAZN. You can watch it for free. However, you do have to put up with some... That's how you have to put up with some pop-ups halfway through the game. Kieran, where can I watch this game, mate? You can watch it on DAZN. Yeah, if you go onto DAZN, the app DAZN, search that on whatever smart TV you've got, smart TV, Fire Stick. I think you can go and watch it on the DAZN website as well if you're on your laptop, wherever you're watching, you can go and watch it on DAZN, completely free. User 553. Hope Trump achieves his dreams at Real. Is Trump gone to Real Madrid? Don't think he has, you know. Mascherano's absolutely raging there. He's absolutely raging. He's just had a quick word with the referee. But yeah, Inter Miami's manager is not very happy. Long ball up the touchline here. No worries, Kieran. Or Ethan, Peria, sub-stub. Right, just stop. Just stop. Just relax. Honestly. Peria. Do I have to knock some skulls? Just relax. Watch a bit of footy. Porto absolutely bouncing here. Fans are in dreamland. Oh no, what's he doing? Very nearly a horrendous back pass. I think it was from Busquets as well, was it? Wouldn't expect that from him. Right. Did we do Porto's lineup? We didn't, did we? We just did Inter Miami's. Porto's lineup is Claudio Ramos in goal. Obviously, they've not got Diogo Costa, who was away with Portugal, wasn't he? He was away with Portugal for the UEFA Nations League, so chances are he's still resting up. So it's the backup keeper for Porto, Claudio Ramos, who starts. Then it's Martin Fernandes, Pedro Marcano at the back, João Mario on the right, Moura on the left, Gabri Veiga in midfield. I am really excited to see how Gabri Veiga does at Porto after moving back from the Saudi Pro League. He spent 2 years at Al Ahly and he got 7, 14, 19. He got basically 20 goals and assists in 50 games in Saudi, which, you know, not fantastic, but for a 22, 23-year-old, well, he was 21 then, lots and lots expected of Gabri Veiga, and I imagine if he came to the Premier League, we would see a little bit more of him. But Gabri Veiga and Varela in midfield, And then up front, it is Fabio Vieira of Arsenal. Moura on the left, Rodrigo Moura, again, another young player who lots and lots is expected of. He got 17 goals and assists last season in 23 games for Porto at just 18 years of age. And he's up front with Fabio Vieira and Samu. Again, Samu, 22 goals and assists in 30 games. Gav, what did you think about your fixtures yesterday? I would say Arsenal got it the toughest. What would I say? I think you've got to play... Again, my whole personal opinion, mate, is that you have to play everyone twice. So, yeah, Arsenal have, on paper, you would have to say, got the toughest opening start. That said, just because it looks tough doesn't necessarily mean it proves to be that way. There's a lot of fixtures like United. United, I don't think are going to have all of their ducks in a row. They're not going to have all the ducks in a row by the time that they play Arsenal on the opening day of the season. So you would have to imagine, and look, everyone thought that Old Trafford was going to be a really difficult place to go last season. It never ended being at all. Everyone won there, didn't they? Apart from United, everyone seemed to win at Old Trafford. So, you know, it looks like a difficult game, but it might not be. So, but what I will say is that yeah, the opening. I think there was a study done. I was reading about this before. There was a study done, and the average number of points that a Premier League champion takes from the opening 10 games is 22.7. Some take more, some take less, but as a general rule, if you get less than 22 points, you probably don't win the title in your opening 10 games. And Arsenal's opening 6 are very, very difficult, aren't they? So if Arsenal don't get a fast start, I'd just leave any thoughts of Arsenal challenging at the door. But as you say, it's a tough call. It's a tough fixture list. But at the end of the day, you've got to play them all twice. So a little bit of balance to think about. You know, sometimes these games look easy on paper or look difficult on paper, and they're not. Like Liverpool's end of season looks quite tough. I think our start is all right, but our end of season looks quite difficult. Oh, Ethan, chill. Last warning, seriously, chill. Just chill, lads. This is honestly absolute pointless. Just chill. Pure Loyalist, well said. Substub. Yeah, mate, just leave it. Just leave it. Cheers, everyone. Jake Liverpool Echo now saying Ekatiki. Now you want him and he's waiting. Just get him now. Don't embarrass yourself failing to get Isaac. It's going to be Caicedo and Lavia all over again. Sam here, X69. This shadow ban really hurts the reach. It does, mate. It does. And it never gets above 10 on TikTok. When I am shadow banned, for whatever reason, it never really gets above like 10 to 15. It's pretty stagnant. Yeah, Ethan, I get it, dude. But like, you just don't need to. Just leave it. It's all good. But it does absolutely kill any hope of reaching a new audience. It takes a bit of time to build back up. I'm saying this now, watch us. We might end up by the end of the stream being on like a couple of hundred. You never know. You can't predict it. Ben, what's the beef about? Oh, just I don't want to get into it again. It's an absolute nothing nonsense in the YouTube chat. But it's fine. It's all settled. It's all died down. No more beef. It's all good. come on. This is going to be one of them games again, innit, now? Because Porto scored early. Inter Miami just haven't really got an awful lot of energy, it feels like. And they've sat back. It feels like, if anything, Porto are more likely to dominate this one now. Here's Messi. Suarez is running ahead of him. Here's Messi. Oh, Suarez is in. It might be. It must be. Louis, you've got to stick that away. You've got to stick that away. I tell you what, the Suarez of old would have absolutely smashed that. Samir X69, do you think playing in midfield is the hardest role on the pitch? It's the most physically demanding, I would say. Yeah, you probably have to be you have to be up and down the pitch in midfield, don't you? But no, I don't think it's the hardest, because personally I think the goalkeeper's the hardest. Because the goalkeeper, if you make a mistake as a goalkeeper, chances are you cost your team the game, or at least cost your team points, don't you? If you make a mistake as a striker, you don't cost you're expected to make mistakes as an outfield player, aren't you? You're expected to make mistakes as a defender, as a midfielder, as an attacker, and your teammates will get you out of it. If you make a mistake as a goalkeeper, you've done. You have to be faultless as a goalkeeper. Ben, I got Suarez 13-14 attacker. Greatest attacker I've ever seen on a football pitch. A man possessed. Oh, Ethan. Dude. Mate, you've had a bad day. Just chill out. No one is having a go at you. Nobody dislikes you. You're just going off on a tangent, right? If it's a bad day, leave the chat. Leave the chat before the chat leaves you, right? We all love you, mate, but you're taking the mick. Leave the chat, or the chat will leave you. Just calm down. I might actually go and live in Africa. Oh, Ethan, leg it, lad. For tonight, come back tomorrow with a fresh head. Go and have a drink of water and a smile, and come back with a fresh head. You're a nice lad, Ethan. We like you, but you're doing me head in tonight. So Gav, does Suarez still bite people if they pee him off? Suarez is one of, if not the best centre forward I've ever seen. I've got to echo Ben's thoughts there. I've never seen a centre forward better. Ben, Asia is good. United is massive. Oh, yeah. That guy yesterday was saying United are the biggest team in the world because they're massive in Asia. As if that means anything. It's insane. That guy, Suarez, one shot on target. Messi. What, Messi's got one shot on target, has he? They're coming forward now here into Miami. Great ball in. Chance. Keeper claims it. Well, that Denmark game has massively cost me. I had money on the Denmark game. I thought Denmark would win. United plus Asia equals sweet success. Possession, 43% to Inter Miami. And, Ben, have you been to that Asian supermarket in the Arndale? It's crazy. No, I haven't. What is it? It's like being in the middle of Tokyo. Have you ever been to Tokyo? Obviously, Tess is in Tokyo at the minute. Emiliano, Miami is actually decent. Yeah, they're knocking it around all right, aren't they? But I think Porto are kind of letting them have it. Porto are standing off, and there's not really much of a press from Porto. It's disappointing, to be honest. Domenico, you think Porto wins? Yeah, when the 1-0 up as it stands, but I think Inter Miami are pressing whenever Porto have it. Porto are not really pressing when Inter have it. Yeah, she's loving it there, mate. But I think, yeah, I'd love to go to Japan. I'd love to go to Japan. But I've never been the supermarket you're on about in the Arndale. Philson1221, what do you think about Gyökeres? I think he is a middling Premier League striker. I think he's only decent. I don't think he comes to the Premier League and rips it up. I don't think he comes to the Premier League and makes it like. I don't think he significantly improves the team. Put it that way. I think if he goes, he'll probably end up at United. He almost certainly ends up at United because I don't think any other team seriously wants him. Ben, it's Boss That Supermarket. Every flavour of instant noodles known to man. See that? Yeah. So she's mad on instant noodles. I'm not really loving on noodles. Full stop. I don't really have them, but yeah, it's not really my thing. Instant noodles. She's back on Sunday, mate. Emiliano, when you go to Japan, make a stop in Germany. Will do. Yeah, will do. I'd love to go and do more of Germany. I want to go and see more German football. Maybe if the channel gets big enough, maybe one day I can do a Premier League Dad Germany tour, and we'll go and watch some footy games together in Germany. That'll be a good laugh. Meat Cube. It's just like the Al Ahly game where both teams don't seem to be trying their hardest. I think we're going to get games like this pretty much all through the competition, you know. All through the competition. Substop, instant noodles, and tuna is good. Whew, no chance. Not for me. Not for me. Ben, I love trying random soft drinks. Do you know what? Do you know, I'll give you that. I love trying random soft drinks. So in the Trafford Centre, there is a Japanese, I think it's a Japanese store. It's like it looks like a shop that would belong in Tokyo anyway. And yeah, there was a drink, and it was, what was it? Something flavoured. Oh, it was so cool though. It was cream soda, but it was a mad style of drink, and it had Japanese writing all over it. It was well nice. I'd go back just for that. Sammy, thank you very much. Andrew Wright, big up. Good to see you, Andrew. Ben, I'm coming with you. Balkan v Hamburg, here we come. Nice. We'll do a little Germany trip, lads trip, mate. Gav, I just read on the BBC Sports app that City have been fined £1 million for deliberately delaying starts and restarts to matches. Yes. Yeah, they have. It's the games that... It's only about 2 minutes, though, you know. About 2 minutes each game. It's 9 matches across the season. Chubba Chub drinks. God, yeah. Dean Bonisi. How you doing, Dean? Good to see you, mate. Yeah, City have been fined I think it's nearly £1 million for deliberately delaying starts. They've accepted the punishment as well. However, you've got to say that if the Premier League are punishing them for this, is this a prerequisite for what's to come? Ben, I follow a fella on TikTok who tries soft drinks from all over the world. It's amazing. It is amazing what you can do now if you are committed to following a particular, niche. You can build a real business and a lifestyle for yourself doing stuff like that. I love it. As I've said this a few times on this channel, I would have absolutely loved to have done the padded seat. If you've ever seen the padded seat, it is so, so good, you know. Gav, what do you think will happen with City in the 1-1-5? I've got to say, Gav, I think that there is going to be a punishment for City. But I think there is already a negotiation taking place that we're not aware of. That maybe City are accepting a proportion of blame for some things, and the Premier League are letting them off with some other things, maybe the more serious things. And actually, there is going to be a slap on the wrist forthcoming. It's probably not going to be the all-encompassing. Like there's literally some fans, I think, and a lot of rival fans would quite like to see them, relegated and then giving the titles away and transfer bans and all sorts of things. I don't think it's going to come to that. I don't think it is going to come to that. I think it's far, far more likely that we see a negotiation taking place. And the reason I say that is because at the moment, do you know how much the lawyers are getting paid? For both sides. I mean, City, they don't care. They've got an endless pot of money. The Premier League don't. The Premier League, they have had a 10-year case ongoing with Manchester City, and the legal fees are just racking up and racking up and racking up and racking up. And at some point, it's going to become unsustainable. At some point, the Premier League are just going to be like, we're spending like tens of millions of pounds on this case. And in many ways, it's super serious for them, isn't it? It's super duper serious that they have to get it done. Because it's their authority that is being questioned. If the Premier League don't defend this one and defend it very strong, then every other club will take the mick. So they have to defend it strong. They have to show a strong, force. And I think that's what they'll be saying to City is we have to demonstrate to every other club that we're in charge. We're in charge, not you, not any clubs, not any member clubs. We're in charge. So you're going to have to take some sort of a big punishment here. And City will probably take the medicine. It won't be as bad as we all want it to be, but I think they might get a slap on the wrist. Probably a couple of transfer bans and a big fine. No, they won't get anything in terms of missing Europe or anything like that. They won't get relegated. They won't get points. It will not be a points deduction. It'll be a suspended points deduction and transfer bans with a massive fine. So I think they get maybe a £50 million fine, like a record fine, a huge fine. Biggest fine ever for a football club. And then on top of that, probably a couple of transfer bans. And that'll be them done. And the Premier League will warn them that if you do any more, if you do anything like this again, then immediately it's a relegation. It's like an immediate 60-point deduction. I know the padded seat. Yeah, the padded seat is incredible. Honestly, check him out. I'm not promoting him in any way, but that's the channel that I wish I'd have done. Not that I don't like this. I love this too, but the padded seat would have been so cool. Ethan, I've had a shit day going to that. Mate, Ethan, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Ethan. It's all good. Like I said, just take time away if you think you need to. That's the main thing. Gav, to be honest, mate, I don't think they will be relegated for it or a points deduction. I think it'll be a massive fine. Yeah. Oh, there's a claim for another penalty here. There's another claim for a penalty. Porto, I'll tell you something. He's claiming for a penalty here, Samu. And he might get one. There's going to be a check again. But I'll tell you something. It looked like he was hauled down here. Oh, you know what? That's more of a penalty than the first one, that. That is more of a penalty than the first one. He's got to look at it. He's got to look. I think that was more of a pen than the first. I really think. Reveal, where do you see Rashford and Sancho going as they need to be playing with the World Cup next year? It wouldn't surprise me if Rashford went to Newcastle. Yeah, I think Rashford could go to Newcastle. Sancho, possibly, I think goes back to Germany. Or maybe to Turkey. I don't know. Sancho, it feels like his career's just gone on a total decline. Messi doesn't shoot. Killian, my hot take is Brazilian League is better than Liga. Nah, it's not. It's really not. I don't think. Valdemar, good to see you, Valdemar. Hello to you too. Substub Rashford should stay at Villa. He's not going to stay at Villa. I mean, to be honest, Villa, his contract has ended, or his loan has ended. He's back at Manchester United now, isn't he? Yeah, he's back at Man United. I don't think he is rated there, Substub. Honestly, I think he's been moved off. Villa, he didn't really do enough there to justify the £40 million that Manchester United were asking for. Plus the massive wages. So I just don't think they're interested in keeping him. Especially with no Champions League football, they can't really justify those sorts of outlays. Gav, what happens though if City are found not guilty of all charges, because that would make the Premier League look stupid. And this is why I think there's a negotiation going on here now. I think City privately, again, it's all alleged. It's all alleged before I get in any trouble. I know it's all alleged. City to this point have done nothing wrong, and it's all still to be proven. However, I think if City have been found guilty, I think there would be an acceptance internally at City. I think the lawyers may at some point have said, okay, look, it looks like we might have a problem here. We might be banged to rights on some things. And they are, I think. I mean, from my limited knowledge of the case, and it's not all that limited, but I think from my knowledge of the case, I do think that there's a case against City, a real case. And they're almost banged to rights on it. So I'd be very surprised if they got nothing against them. I'd be very, very surprised. It's just what the punishment is, and I think that's the thing. The things that they've been found guilty of, a lot of it is like ignoring the Premier League. So they can't be not guilty of that. They either are or they aren't, and the Premier League are saying that they've requested information from City, and City have just gone, you don't have the right to ask us for that information. That makes up about 70 of the charges. So about 70 of the charges is literally the Premier League saying, by the way, we need this information from you, and the City have just gone, no. And the Premier League are like, what are you on about? You've got to provide it. All clubs provide it. And City are like, well, you aren't the authority to ask us for that information, so no. We're just not giving it you. So they have directly challenged the Premier League, and if the Premier League didn't receive that, unless it was like in error, unless the Premier League actually did receive it, and it was just lost in paperwork somewhere, that's the only argument you can imagine City have. But if 70 odd of the charges are not cooperating with an investigation, not cooperating with the Premier League, they're guilty. The other charges, there may be the more serious ones about, hiding money and where money's come from and all that sort of thing. Those are still to be proven. There's a lot of micro financial transactions and things like that to be considered. Killian, are you streaming somewhere else? I'm streaming everywhere else, Killian. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube, Twitch, X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Obviously, all of the chat comes in to here, and I chat away to different people. But yes, it all comes in. But a lot of people start on TikTok and move over to YouTube. But yes, mate, I do. I think that City will be found guilty of something. And what that is and what the punishment is obviously still to be determined. They can't be found not guilty of all charges. That would just be astonishing. Killian, how many French teams can you name? I can name more Brazilian. I can name a lot of French teams. I can name a lot of Brazilian teams, I guess, but I don't think that necessarily means anything. I think the quality of again, what you've got to talk about is the quality of French teams, quality of French players. I think they're far better than the Brazilian League. Reveal clothing. How bad are these officials at the Club World Cup? There's been some bad ones, definitely. Kieran, sorry, not saying much tonight. Love your streams, but my toothache is knocking me clean out, basically, mate. Don't worry about it. Do you know what, Kieran? I wouldn't be surprised, mate, if just go and get yourself to sleep. Get an early night if you can, mate. I mean, watch what you can. Obviously, contribute where you feel you're able to. But yeah, don't apologise, mate. It's awful when you've got toothache. Just maybe try and sleep through it if you can. Get yourself some. Well, I would say have a nice like hot cup of tea or something that'll send you off. But something hot is the worst thing you can have when you've got toothache. Gav, I need your help though. Gav, I do need your help. If you're still listening. I don't know if you're still listening, Gav, but I could do with your help. I've got a question that maybe only you will know. If City was found not guilty, then that would open up the way for Newcastle to do this. Exactly, and this is it. Yeah, this is exactly it, mate. Newcastle. Oh, it's another claim for the penalty here. It's another claim for the penalty from Porto. Has the ref stopped it? No, he's not. Hey, it's all going off here now. There's all a bit of a scrap. It's handbags off the ball. It's handbags revealed. Do you see this Club World Cup lasting, or do you see them scrapping it in years to come? No, I think they will. I think they absolutely will keep it going. They definitely will keep it going. Yeah, definitely. Oh, it was off the line. It was a great save, actually, that. Wonderful bit of defending by, was it Wygant? The guy I'm buying Porto over 1.5. Yeah, Porto are going to get one more for sure. Yeah, I think they'll keep going. The next one's scheduled for, is it 2029? The next World Cup? Club World Cup? Yeah, the next one's 2029. They'll do that. They'll do that. They'll do it again. FIFA won't give up on it after one tournament. I think part of the issue it's been so bad is because of where it's been staged and maybe the teams that's been involved. And, you know, I think if you had Liverpool and Barcelona over there as well, that would make more of a difference. But yeah, I don't know. Yes, Gav, if you are still in the chat, Gav, I need your help. They need to sort out how people qualify for it. That's true. I think it's going to be coefficient, maybe. League coefficient. But yeah, I need your help. Gav, so basically, I don't know if this happens with you, but because you're a streamer, you might be able to help me. I've noticed that when I am streaming on YouTube, everything is perfectly fine now. My voice is in sync and everything, right? At least I hope it is. When I watch my YouTube live, if like I'm looking on it now on here, right, I can see that my voice is in sync. Everything's pretty good, right? It's watchable. It's fine. And then as soon as I finish the live, I end the live, and it goes off, and YouTube automatically republishes the full recording of the stream. And then when you go on the recording, you watch the recording back, I'm always like a second or so out of sync. So I'm not when I'm live, but the recording is always like a second out of sync. And I don't publish the recording. It's something done automatically by YouTube. Do you know why that is? As a seasoned streamer, do you know why that would be? And if there's anything I can do to rectify it? I've no idea why it would be. I'm trying to troubleshoot that at the moment. I'm asking a few people who know about streaming, because I'm relatively new to it myself. But yeah, for some reason that keeps happening. It doesn't happen on everyone, but it happens on you know, enough that it's annoying. And it happens on enough that if people wanted to go back and watch the stream that we've just been on, it would be frustrating, because you'd have to watch it back with like a half a second delay on the audio. And it's just annoying. Porto... Oh, it's cleared away. Cleared away. Here's Samu. He's got bags of pace, this lad, hasn't he? That's a wonderful bit of play by Samu. Do you know what? He could be a Premier League player, him, if he wanted to, couldn't he? He really could be a Premier League player. Bags of pace. The guy in play over 1.5 goals for Porto. Mate, that's not good value, that. How much are you getting for that? Like 1.2? Doesn't even make sense. You shouldn't be putting 1.5 over Porto for this. They need to get one more goal in the game. Definitely another goal for Porto in this. Gavs, I only upload videos, so I wouldn't know, but my mate Jamzo might. Okay. I was going to say, if you do speak to him or whatever, that'd be very, very much appreciated. I am trying to find an answer to that question. And I'm not really entirely sure where to look for an answer. Oh, what a save! Ustari, how's he kept that out? Ben, you said you didn't like Samu about 2 nights ago. Change your mind more than the weather. No, I don't like him. I don't think he's a particularly good striker. What I'm saying to you is he's got the build and the movement and the pace. He's got the frame and the physical attributes of a Premier League striker. That's what I'm saying. And when I say Premier League striker, I don't mean like top striker. I'm not talking like the difference between Arsenal winning the league and not. When I say a Premier League striker, I mean like a competent Premier League striker, like a Mateta or a Wissa or someone like that. A competent Premier League striker for me just means someone who is a decent Premier League striker. It doesn't have to be top. Just decent. It's overreacting, Ben. Christ. More of a drama queen than your cousin, you. Porto 3 shots on target. Gav, I go on one of your old streams for a second and see, mate. I'll be back. Okay, no problem. Yeah, just pick an old stream at random. Just pick an old stream at random and you'll see what I'm talking about. FM No Casuals, is Messi ever looking like getting one on target? Mate, they're not really getting into the Porto final third. If I'm dead honest, it looks more like it's Porto to score the next one. There's 2 minutes of added on time at the end of the first half here. It's not been a particularly enthralling first half, I've got to say. I'm not loving it. That guy, wait, Porto to score second, please. Reveal, do you see Jude lasting at Madrid, as he was awful last night and I can see him in the Prem in a few years' time? I think that Jude and Trent Real Madrid, I think, are probably going to go through this cycle where they've got Trent in, they've got Jude in, and I think both of those, because they are seen as kind of like almost like a package deal, I guess, because they're such close friends. If one fails, then it will tar the other one a little bit. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold got off to a really bad start with Madrid yesterday, and I do think, some people called it bitter, by the way, when I said this, but I do think that Trent will be, told he can leave Madrid in the next 12 to 18 months. I do honestly think that. Genuinely, honestly believe that, because I think it's just going to be Gavs. It's like a second out of sync, isn't it? Yeah, it's annoying. It's so annoying, and I don't know why. Because during the live, like you can see right now, it's fine, isn't it? There's no. I'm hoping anyway. I'm hoping there's no issue with my voice and the audio. It's fine during the live, but as soon as it's published after it, it is like a second out, and I don't know how you cause it. Footbiz, did you like the Romania game? Yeah, it was good. It was good. I really thought Denmark would win that, but yeah, Romania battered them. They played really, really well, and Romania now go through to the knockout stage. So well done to Romania. James Greer, have you ever been to Parkhead? Yes, I have been to Parkhead. I went to Parkhead when I was, I think was I 11, 10 or 11, and I met John Hartson outside the ground. I also met, who was the other fella? Winger for Celtic. Oh, this is going to do my head in. I'll tell you his name now. I had my picture took with John Hartson and... No, it wasn't him. One sec. I'm gonna have to get the... Agath. Didier Agath. Yeah, Didier Agath. Has player impressed you at the Club World Cup? I don't know, you know. I don't really know. So far, I'd probably say no. Samu's done alright in this game. What other games have we actually seen at the Club World Cup? I'm trying to think back now to the ones we've actually watched. FIFA Club World Cup, right. PSG. I watched the PSG Atletico Madrid game, as per usual. Fabian Ruiz was fantastic. Bayern, that was a bit too easy. Chelsea, none of them really impressed me against LA. I haven't seen any of the River Plate games or the Dortmund games. City against Wydad. No, not really anyone in that one. And the same, Real Madrid and Al Hilal, we only really caught the tail end of it. If I'm honest, no, I don't think I have. Footbiz, Romania will win the Euros. Did you like a player from our team? Yes, I did. The guy who scored the first goal, the goal was absolutely incredible. The guy, he plays for Voluntari. What's his name? Gutea, Remus Gutea. Was very impressed with him, Footbiz. Yeah, really good player. Gav, I don't know, that a certain United channel mentioning no names have the same problem. A certain United channel, as in a big United channel, they've had the same problem. So it could be a YouTube thing and not you, mate. James Gray, have you ever been to Parkhead? Yes, I have been to Parkhead, mate. Yeah, I was saying that earlier. Could be a YouTube thing and not you. Maybe it is, yeah. Finners, Matty, are you watching the Chelsea game tomorrow? It's tough. I don't know if I'm going to watch the Chelsea game tomorrow. I need to actually put a poll on to ask you guys, because tomorrow there's 2 games on. There's 2 games on, and we've got Benfica against Auckland City, and then there's Flamengo against Chelsea. So we could watch both World Club Cup games, or we could watch Netherlands under-19s against England under-19s. And if I'm honest, I fancy the under-19s game. I'd rather watch that, because the Club World Cup has been awful to watch so far. It's been dreadful. And I'm not particularly enamoured with it. So at this moment, I'm thinking we might watch the under-19s. Footbiz, this is actually the second league from the league. I don't know what that means. The guy Chelsea doesn't win. I don't think so tomorrow either, no. Yeah, who would you say they'll reveal? Do you think is anyone that's particularly impressed you from the Club World Cup? But no, honestly, Matty, I'll probably watch a little bit. The one run by a certain MG, mate, he had the same problem for a while. Did he really? Oh, okay. So frustrating, you know, because I've gone on like Reddit and subreddits and forums, and I've asked loads of people to try and figure it out, like forums and Facebook pages and communities where I've looked and said, is there anyone can help me with this? Is there anyone who knows anything about this? And nobody seems to know anything about it. Nobody seems to have encountered it. It just seems to be me. I don't know why. I've literally got I've got the highest internet speed. I'm connected directly to the internet. There's no reason at all why it should be slow or the delay or anything. And that wouldn't matter anyway, because there's no delay on anything else. There's no delay on any other channels. It only seems to be on YouTube. Just the recording on YouTube. Be yourself, Dylan. Messi finding it difficult too. I mean, the whole of Inter Miami, really, they're just not really getting the ball in the final third. They have created one very clear chance where Messi slotted it through for Suarez, and he probably should have scored, if I'm really honest. Yeah, he probably should have scored it. Football's voluntary is a second tier team. Ah, right, okay. Gav, he's always done it or only recently? Or has it always done it or only recently? I think it's always done it, you know. I think it's always done it. As far as I'm aware, anyway. I think it has. It feels like it's become more pronounced recently, though. And the only thing that I'm a little bit concerned that it might be is latency. And I don't think there's anything I can do about that. I don't think there's anything. I think it's just a fact of the situation. I think sometimes it's where your internet drops and then goes back up again. But yeah, it could be that. It could be that. It's not been a recent thing, but I've only noticed it recently. And when I talked to my missus about it, she did exactly the same as you, mate. She went and had a look at a random video, and she was like, I've just looked at one of your older videos and I've just found it and it was absolutely fine. So what are you talking about? It's fine. There's no delay at all. It's absolutely bang on. And I was like, scroll further on, and she found a little tiny bit later on in the same stream. It had been fine for the full stream, but then later on it went funny again. So maybe it's just sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. It's frustrating though, isn't it? It's frustrating because it makes you look a little bit tenpenny, you know what I mean? Be yourself, Dylan. Goalkeeper should have saved that penalty, but the power beat him. I mean, he's getting on as well, Ustari. He's like 38. He actually used to play for Sunderland, you know. The Inter Miami goalkeeper. Reveal clothing. Let's be honest, the Club World Cup tournament is just a glorified pre-season tournament. If you call mid-June as pre-season. We do think, I mean, a lot of people seem to be indicating that this is going to affect teams going into the new season. I don't know if you agree with that, let me know. But to me, I think there's going to be a bit of an overhang into the season. Mainly because of the fact that once any teams that go deep in this competition, as soon as they get to the final stages, by the time they finish the competition, which runs, by the way, to, I think, is it the 12th of July? This competition finishes on like the 12th, 13th of July. By that point, Liverpool and Arsenal and other players for those teams have been away on holiday, had their holidays, come back and are starting pre-season with their clubs on like the first week of July. At that point, these players, they're going to finish at the Club World Cup on maybe the the 10th to the 12th or 13th of July, and then they're going to need a holiday. They're going to need a couple of weeks holiday. So the club will send them all the way on holiday, and then it'll be like, right, come back at you have to come back maybe the 26th of July, right? And then we'll do a little brief pre-season, and it'll be probably an intense one. It'll be a really intense pre-season to get you ready for the start of the Premier League season, which is like, what, 12th, 13th of August, something like that. Shay472 wouldn't say it's a pre-season tournament. The club that win get 100 million. I know, but I think like the teams right now, they're not taking it mega seriously because the early stages are like they should be winning. It should be cut and dry. I think that's why there's such anger and furore and confusion about Real Madrid yesterday. Because a lot of people thought Real Madrid would breeze past Al Hilal. A lot of the Madrid fans did. And that's why there's a little bit of upset and annoyance. Gav, we're treating this as our pre-season, I think. I don't know about City if they are. Have Chelsea not got many pre-season fixtures then? Because again, I would have assumed that Chelsea's pre-season would have been Tokyo, Shanghai, Oh, Christ. Chelsea pre-season fixtures 2025. Clubs have started to announce their 2025 pre-season fixtures. Right, Chelsea have got... Oh, they've not. Oh, they have, sorry. Chelsea have got 8th of August, Bayer Leverkusen. It's Stamford Bridge. And then AC Milan, 10th of August, Stamford Bridge. They're hosting the 2025 Visit Malta Cup. The Stamford Bridge Weekender in the Visit Malta Cup. Chelsea, AC Milan and Bayer Leverkusen playing each other. Interesting. FM No Casuals, we both know Real Madrid had days where they couldn't beat Valencia at home last season. Yeah, they're not that good, are they? Who've Man City got this season? Man City haven't announced any pre-season. Man City pre-season fixtures 2025. Man City pre-season 2025 tour. Have they got a tour? What games have they got? Yeah, I was going to say, I think they are using that as... There's no full fixture list at all beyond that. The Club World Cup. Interesting. Well, there you go. They might not have any because of the Club World Cup. Yeah, I think that is what's happening then. City seem to be treating the Club World Cup as their pre-season. But everyone else, I mean, look, Liverpool are playing Preston on the 13th of July. We've then got AC Milan in Hong Kong. We've got Yokohama F. Marinos in Japan. And then we play, believe it or not, Liverpool play Athletic Bilbao twice in the same day. Back to back. We play him 4th of August. We play him twice. 2 completely separate teams. So if you buy a ticket for Liverpool against Athletic Bilbao on the 4th of August, you see 2 games. It's great. Not that I'm going to it, but we'll probably watch it on the channel. Gav, we've still got some pre-season fixtures. Ben, I'm going to be a part-time Hereford fan this season. Keenan Quanta's just signed for them. One of my best mates is very pally with him. So we're going to go a few games. Where is Hereford? Isn't Hereford... Hereford's a good scotch away. You're not going to be going to Hereford all that often, are you? Near Gloucester. It's a bit of a mooch, that, mate. Not sure I'd be going down to Hereford because your mate's playing. It's a bit fanboyish, that. 2.5 hour drive. Swerve that. 2.5 hour drive. I hope he's putting you up in a hotel and taking you out for steak. Something decent. Reveal clothing. Arsenal fans complaining about the first 6 games of the season. How many points behind will they be? Well, saying this earlier, apparently the average number of points taken for a Premier League team that wins the title, Premier League title winners take an average of 22.7 points in their first 10 games. So, bear that in mind, Arsenal, when you look at the teams they have in the first 6 and 7. Are they likely to get 22.7 points out of their first 10 games? Any less than that, and they are underperforming other title winners. Ben, Bristol, Welsh border, I think. We're going to go a few games. He'll drive, and it's football, so why not? Well, I guess it's a road trip, it's a few beers. Why not? As you say. It's actually quite nice, to be fair, down that way. Right, well, Inter Miami are back out. Porto, on the other hand, are not. Ben, correct, and I'm not driving, so not ours. Sergio Biscuit still playing. Top player. Top player. Can't believe Mascherano's coaching as well. Mascherano would probably still get a game with these, wouldn't he? Gav's highlights, would you say Liverpool are absolute favourites for the title after signings? And if you get Isak as well, holy shite. Yeah, I mean, look, Gav, I don't know. You've fairly recent you've started watching us, right? I mean, so about maybe a month ago, I was asked this question, and I said that I thought that City would win the league. And I had a few Liverpool fans even saying, I can't believe you've said that. I can't believe you've said that. We're defo going to win it next year. And I was like, well, I think we're going to lose a lot of players. I think we're going to probably change half the squad. And when they said, no way, I gave them a full list of all the players I thought would leave. And the players that I thought would leave would be, I said, obviously, Kelleher, Trent is going. I said Tsimikas, but it now looks like Robertson. So there's 3. Kwanzaa, that's 4. You go into the midfield, probably Elliott, Morton, Doak, Chiesa, Darwin Núñez, maybe Luis Diaz. You don't know about Diogo Jota. There's probably about 10 to 11. Yeah, it's probably about 10 to 11 players. So that's half a squad going. Excluding any surprises as well. We don't know what happens with Ibrahima Konate as well. A little bit concerned about what happens with him. And yeah, just a little bit concerned about what happens with them. But if 10 to 11 players leave, that's a lot of players you've got to replace in the squad. So I got a lot of stick for saying that, and I said I think City bounce back. I think City get it done. Unless Arsenal go and sign some proper talent, I think City bounce back and get it done. And then City immediately started signing the players that we've seen them sign. That didn't change anything. City, they'll be really up there. The Florian Wirtz thing came out of nowhere. I didn't think we'd sign him. Frimpong, Kirkes, we've got our business done quite early with them. If we add Isak to it, and we add Gay to it, oh yeah, I think we are favourites again. We are favourites. Gav, yeah, but City getting rid of players as well, like KDB. Yeah, I mean, KDB's a huge loss to them. And again, I'm not. Do you know what? We watched them against Wydad yesterday. I know you can't put too much stock in this game, but they weren't fantastic against Wydad, were they? Ben, I'd be concerned if we started the season with Konate and he's not signed an extension. I don't think we start the season with him. If he's not signing an extension, if we start the season with him, or at least if he gets past the transfer window, I think he's already committed. He's already committed. There's no way in hell that we allow him to leave on a free again. I'd be astonished if that was the case. Or maybe the club back themselves to get a deal done with him. Maybe the club back themselves to, like, if they believe that Konate is sincere about wanting to stay, but you know, maybe there's just room for negotiation and he's just trying to make sure he gets the best deal for him, which I've no problem with, by the way. He's got to fight for get the best deal. Yeah. Real clothing, who would you take? Prime Busquets or Prime Rodri? Prime Busquets. Yeah, that's not even close. Busquets is brilliant. Messi! Oh, there you go! It's 1-1! It's 1-1, and it wasn't Messi, it's Kramashi, isn't it? Is it Kramashi with the goal? Suarez, lovely, lovely little step over, I think. And it's 1-1 into Miami. First little few minutes of this second half. I think, is it Kramashi? No, it's not. It's Segovia. Absolutely wonderful finish that. Rattled it into the top corner. Fantastic finish. Lou, did I not say to you a few months back, lad, you'd get Isak? You did. And look, we don't know if it's going to happen yet, but that's some signing, isn't it? It's some signing if Liverpool do manage to get him. Gav's highlights, Real Madrid getting ready to take him on a free next year. I hate Real Madrid. I'd just say to Canate, we will sell you this summer. You'll be gone. You'll be gone for whatever this summer. We're not allowing you to leave on a free. But then in theory, we can't do anything to make him leave, can we? We can't force him to leave. The guy 1-1 BTTS, easy. What a goal. Yeah, it was a fantastic finish, that, wasn't it? And now it is game on. Now Porto have to show. Yeah, if Liverpool sign Isak, I would say the league title is done. Like, it would take... And you know what? That would actually... He'll learn Spanish in that year, mate. Sorry, of course he will. And it's sad, you know, because I really like Canate. He's fantastic. Like, I would argue to the death that he's the best centre-back after Virgil van Dijk. I think he's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I wouldn't swap him for any other centre-back in world football. Incredible player. And still only young as well. You know, he'd be probably one for the captaincy if he stayed. If he stayed and outstayed Van Dijk, he'd probably be the captain. He's that kind of player. Wonderful player. And PSG as well will probably be linked with him. Not just Real Madrid, but PSG would probably be linked with him. I think he'd be far more likely, actually, to go to PSG, you know. Reveal clothing. Saliba, best centre-back in EPL currently. No, he's not, mate. He's not. Van Dijk's, by some distance, the best centre-back. And do you know what? Arsenal fans would argue, actually. There's quite a lot of Arsenal fans we've had in the chat over the last few months that would argue Saliba's not even the best centre-back at Arsenal. I remember doing a team of the season. I did a team of the season last year, and I put Saliba in over Gabriel. And you wouldn't believe the amount of Arsenal fans I had in saying, as if you've put Saliba in over Gabriel. Gabriel's well better than Saliba. So, you know, I don't think it's as cut and dry as Saliba's the best in the Premier League when Arsenal fans can't really even agree if he's the best at the club. PSG to win the Champions League again. I mean, possibly. Yeah, you'd have to say possibly. They were phenomenal last season. They've got a great squad. Good manager. The only team that got close to beating PSG last season was Liverpool. We did beat them. Then we got knocked out over on penalties. So everyone else got dispatched pretty routinely. And it'll be a really good competition next season with Liverpool, PSG, and the others will have to step up. You know, Barca will have to be a lot more clinical. They'll have to be better defensively as well. That's a problem for Barca. Defence is a big problem for Barca. Midfield getting ran through. The attack's no problem. The attack is incredible for Barca. The midfield can pass it around, lovely. They're a little bit too sloppy in transition, and I think the defence needs a little bit of work. So, yeah, issues for Barca in defence. Inter I'm not really concerned about. I think City will be a big threat. I think Real Madrid inevitably will be a big threat, of course, as well. And Arsenal, you know, I mean, I'm saying Arsenal I don't think will win the league. They're still a very good side. Still a very good side. And they could have a run in Europe that puts them in the frame for the Champions League. I think they're far more likely to win the Champions League than the Prem. Gav, I read earlier that we might be selling Madueke to Arsenal, which I'm not happy with. Oh, mate, if you... Honestly, that would be the best move Chelsea could do. That would be the best move that Chelsea could do. Madueke is shocking. Madueke is an absolutely shocking player. He's outrageous. English teams getting more competitive. That's true. Reveal clothing. I don't see Salah having the season like last season. He dropped off towards the end. But he still had the greatest ever Premier League season, didn't he? Like the greatest ever Premier League season. You can't deny that. So I'm sure he will probably not have a season like that again next year. But even if he has one that's like 70% as good as that, he'll still probably be the top scorer in the league. He only needs to be about 70 to 80% of what he was last season. He can afford to be 20% less and still be the best in the league. Be yourself, Dylan, Yamal or Salah for Golden, or sorry, Ballon d'Or. Salah's going to win that. Salah's going to win that. Gav, I wouldn't mind taking Darwin from you if you sold him, but I don't think you'd sell him to us. I'd hate that. See, that's the real question, you know. That is the real question. When you ask a player, a fan of another club, which player would you hate to see leave? Like a player that could leave, that you'd hate to see leave, and go to one of your rivals. I think if Darwin Núñez went to Arsenal, they'd win the league. If Darwin Núñez went to Chelsea, he'd have you chasing the league. He's so good, honestly. He's so good, and it frustrates me with Liverpool fans because we don't appreciate him. I think the managers haven't quite appreciated him. He's a really, really good player. Messi free kick in a dangerous position. Yeah, this is exactly the area of the pitch that he'd wanted, isn't it? Messi, edge of the area. Messi territory. We've seen this hundreds of times before. Can he stick it away? Can he? Oh, 2-1. 2-1. It's 2-1, Messi. What a goal that is. What a goal that is. Far too easy. What a finish. Wonderful. He's still got it. He's still got it, hasn't he? He's still got it. He's still got it. Good morning, Machina Joe. How you doing? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. We've just seen an absolutely wonder strike from Lionel Messi, top corner, same side as the keeper. He puts it the keeper's side as well. The keeper's already gone the other way. That's sickening, that. That is absolutely sickening. Reveal clothing, Núñez is awful, not clinical enough. Mate, he's so good. He's so good. He misses chances, but what striker doesn't? Núñez, Nicholas Jackson, Haaland, Isaac, Watkins, they all miss chances. So, yeah, I think Darwin Núñez is no more guilty than the others. It's just maybe he's a touch more high profile, and he's played 40. He was in 40 games for us this season. 40 appearances for Liverpool in a season where we won the Premier League by a canter. We reached the League Cup final. And Núñez scored some important goals for us on the way as well in that one. In the Premier League. The Champions League, we got knocked out by the eventual winners. Really good player. FM No Casuals, how the far Porto losing to these, man. Honestly, it's just two very, very good goals. That's all it is. Two exceptional goals. Inter have smashed. It's a bit of a smash and grab. They were losing, obviously, at half-time, and two quick goals straight after half-time. Both in the same side of the net. Now, can Porto turn it around? Whipped in from the right-hand side. It's cleared away. And Inter Miami are growing in confidence, aren't they? Caleb, hi Prem Dad, long time no see. Good to see you, Caleb. How's it going, mate? Oh, it's wonderful stuff. It's absolutely wonderful stuff from Porto. And Inter Miami win it back. Nice, the guy in play over 3.5. Love it. How you going, Caleb? Doing well? Good, yeah, mate. I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, really good. Núñez last season, 30 appearances with 5 goals. That's not good enough for an elite striker. No, I know. It's not. And that's one of the reasons why he will be sold. But form is temporary. Form is temporary. And if you look at some of the seasons that, let me take Dembele, take Rafinha. If you look at some of the seasons that they've had. If you look at Salah. Look at Salah at Chelsea. It happens. Sometimes you have a season or two where it's not quite right, and sometimes it's not a particularly good fit in a new system, under a new manager. Sometimes it happens. I don't think that's a fair reflection of Darwin Núñez as a player. Darwin Núñez, again, if you want to talk stats, we've mentioned this before, he's got something like 56 or 57 goals and assists in, I think, 74, 75 starts for Liverpool. So when he starts, he does very, very well for Liverpool. When he starts games, he's got higher than a 1 in 2. When he's subbed onto the pitch, which still counts as an appearance, oftentimes that's what he's had to deal with. He's had to start from the bench, or he's been hooked off. It's not been good enough, I think, for him to when he scored a goal, he's been dropped the game after. That's been the frustration for Darwin Núñez, and I have a little bit of sympathy with him. Caleb, I've been really ill recently. That's why I haven't been here. Oh, mate, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you're better now. That's, Christ, not good. Not good at all. Be yourself, Dylan. Barcelona's attack, adding Williams, but they need another centre-back. They need another centre-back. I think they need a centre-back, a centre-mid, and they probably need another full-back. I think Barca are probably 3 or 4 players away from being, like, Liverpool, PSG level. Gav's highlights. How much would you say Liverpool would want for Darwin? I'd pay up to 65 for him. Yeah, I think that's the going rate. He cost us, I think, 72.5. That's out. We agreed to pay Benfica, I think, 85, but we've not paid all of the add-ons because he hasn't completed the number of games, the number of goals, and we didn't win the Champions League with him. We've won everything else, but we haven't won the Champions League with him. So we paid 72 and a bit in total. So I think 60 to 65 is what Liverpool are pushing for with Darwin Núñez. Obviously, if there's Saudi involved, then it's a little bit more. There's the Saudi tax that we would probably charge a little bit more. It's the same with Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez have both got mega interest from Saudi clubs. Al Hilal, Al Nasser, I think both have made bids for them in the past for probably even more than we paid for Darwin Núñez. The problem is they don't want to go to Saudi. They want to go to European clubs. Darwin has been linked with Napoli. Obviously, they've just won Serie A. Darwin's been linked with Napoli. He's been linked with Atletico Madrid, which, some people in the chat telling you that Darwin's absolutely shocking. Napoli and Atletico Madrid are making big plays for him. Simeone's not a mug, is he? Conte is not a mug. These are not bad managers. That's going to be a penalty, surely. No penalty. Good tackle from Inter Miami. I thought it was a pen, that. Yeah, Diego Simeone's not a mug. If he wants Darwin Núñez, he rates him. He's a very, very talented player, and you look beyond statistics, and you can see what contribution Darwin Núñez makes. How old is he first? If he's older than 22, we won't buy him like we did with the AC Milan goalkeeper. Oh, he's like 25, Darwin Núñez. He's not old, but he ain't, he ain't young either. He's coming into his prime. Caleb, see you tomorrow, buddy. Yeah, no worries, mate. Back to normal now. Thanks for asking. Take it easy, Caleb. See you soon. Núñez, 95 games for Liverpool with 25 goals. I think you've got to look at it per 90, though. That's the problem, Reveal Clothing. You've got to look at him per 90, because a lot of the time, he's sadly, he's been subbed off. He's been benched. Towards the end of last season, Liverpool, I think Slot and Darwin Núñez decided, or Slot and Liverpool decided that they weren't going to buy Darwin Núñez, or they weren't going to keep Darwin Núñez, sorry. They weren't going to keep him. And as a result of that, they stopped playing him. So in the second half of last season, Darwin Núñez was coming off the bench and scoring winners for Liverpool. He did it against Brentford. He was coming off the bench and scoring winners, and then he'd get dropped the next game. It was so frustrating for him. And he knew, and his agent knew, that the reason was that Liverpool were looking at that extra clause in the contract with Benfica, that if he played X number of minutes and scored X number of goals or whatever, then Liverpool owed Benfica another load of money. And if they'd already decided they were going to let him go and they were going to go and get someone else, maybe an Isak, then they were probably in the mindset that, well, look, let's just not play him. Let's not play him as much. And I think that's got to be frustrating for Darwin Núñez, hasn't it? With 5-6 months of the season left, when he's playing well, you're taking him out the side because you don't want to pay more money. So, yeah, that was the issue Darwin Núñez had last season with Liverpool. And it's one of the reasons he was so frustrated. He is better than Jackson, mate, so I can't moan about Darwin. I think he's better than Jackson. I think he would do really, really well at Chelsea. I think he'd do really well at Arsenal. And I'd be gutted if either of you signed him, to be honest, because he's not only is he really good, he's also incredibly likeable. Like, there's not a game where I've been really let down by him. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been some times, like, I remember the Fulham game, was it Fulham or Palace, when he first joined us, and he headbutted the defender, Joachim Andersen. Joachim Andersen wound him up and he headbutted him, got sent off. Stuff like that in his early part of his Liverpool career, he was silly. But every other game since, that guy has ran his socks off. And probably worked harder than anyone else on the pitch. Chases players down. He can finish when he wants to. Look back at Liverpool against Newcastle, when he came off the bench, scored 2 goals and won it for us. Look back at games like that. 2 unbelievable finishes. Right out the top drawer. Baggies, good to see you, mate. How you doing? How do you think you'll get on next season, assuming you're a West Brom fan? Reveal Clothing, do you see Haaland, Cherki and Mamouche playing in the same team? Yes, I do. I think what probably happens is Mamouche plays wide left, or maybe wide right, actually. He'll play wide right, won't he? Mamouche will probably play wide right. Cherki will play in that number 10, sort of in front of Reinders and Rodri, or Reinders and Nico. Cherki in the 10, and it'll be Foden maybe wide right or wide left. Mamouche wide right, Haaland in the centre forward position. Baggies, your top 10 with a bit of luck. You were a bit unlucky last season, weren't you? I mean, Tony Mowbray kind of collapsed towards the end. I remember that game towards the end of the season against Coventry away. We did that one on here. We streamed that game on here. Yeah, and it was a mad end to the season for West Brom. It was a bit of a collapse. But be nice to see West Brom back up in the Prem. Highest ground above sea level, isn't it, the Hawthorns? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate, so we've always had some decent results against West Brom. I've got fond memories of Alisson scoring a header in the last minute at the Hawthorns. So, yeah, I like West Brom. Be good to have West Brom back up in the Prem. Do you see Endrick leaving Madrid as he's a massive talent and needs games? Probably. But I think it seems to me that Xabi Alonso is making a decision between Endrick and Rodrigo. I don't know if you agree, but I think Rodrigo, they can get a lot of money for, but I think obviously he's the better player. Endrick, I'm not sure how. I don't think that the vast, unbelievable acclaim that his talent is, is the lauded. Either he's lauded with. Be yourself, Dylan. Oh, you did. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you very much for that, mate. I didn't see. Yeah, I don't think Esteval's done enough. I think Endrick, what did he get last season? He played 22 games in La Liga, got 1 goal. I'm not sure that Endrick is as good as maybe he needs to be for Real Madrid. I think he probably needs a move. That might end up being the actual move, Maybe Endrick goes to Arsenal, not Rodrigo. Wonder how much they'd want for Endrick. How much would they ask for Endrick? Liverpool fans don't like Endrick. He injured. Was it Kanate he injured in the game last season? Came off the bench and injured Kanate. Pedri Lover, I've seen enough. Miami's winning it all. Here's Porto down the right-hand side. Whipped in, cleared away. Yeah, it's been a hell of a second half, you have to say, for Inter Miami. Gav's highlights, we were linked to Endrick a couple of months ago. Yeah, but Chelsea are linked to every winger on the market. Do you think Wrexham actually have a realistic chance of promotion to the Prem next season? No, I don't think so. I keep buffering. Oh, no. Don't say that. Let me have a look. Ethan, low-key today. Has been a good day, but shit work day. I was training today and nearly messed my neck up. Oh, God. Just take it easy, mate. Take it slow. Yeah, I'm not having any issues here with buffering. I'm gonna blame you for that one, Gav. I haven't seen anything with buffering on here, but maybe it could be. What was I gonna say? Yeah, do you know what I was watching before, Gav? Considering obviously you're a Chelsea fan, I was watching earlier. Someone posted a it was a compilation of when Mudryk made his debut for Chelsea, came on against Liverpool at Anfield, and I think the status said something like, we all thought we'd got Hazard. We all thought we'd got Hazard regen after this performance. And he literally came on, didn't he? I remember seeing that game, and I was like, oh my God, every time this lad gets it, Trent is terrified. Trent is absolutely terrified. Mudryk was all over us. And when I saw that, I was like, this is the real deal list. They've paid nearly 100 million quid for him. But I'll tell you something, that's a really good signing for Chelsea, that is a really good signing. And I've got a little bit of sympathy, actually, having read about what's actually happened with the whole, the doping thing, the ban that it looks like he's going to get maybe a 4-year ban. I've got a lot of sympathy for him, because it looks like it was done accidentally, if anything. It's only, and it's not to gain an advantage in any way. It was while he was away with the Ukraine team. So I'm got a little bit of sympathy for Mudryk. Hopefully he doesn't get a ban, and hopefully he is able to get his career resurrected, because there's a player in there. Or certainly there was a player in there when he came to to play against us at Anfield. There certainly was a player in there. That fool. That fool. You're not a fan of him then, I'm guessing. You're not a fan. See, I did. I thought Mudryk was really good that game. Reveal clothing. As a United fan, I can see Garnacho going to either Spurs or Arsenal. Thoughts? Garnacho to Arsenal would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, that has been doing the rounds, hasn't it? Garnacho to Arsenal. I think that'd be. Do you know what? I think that would be a better signing than Rodrigo. I'd be a lot more concerned if Arsenal went and got Garnacho than Rodrigo. And it's not to say that one's a better player than another, just that I think Garnacho would be half the price. He's got Premier League experience, and I think he could be just as good. He's a very, very talented player, Garnacho. I'm surprised United are selling him. But if Arsenal got him on the left-hand side, competing with Martinelli, and then they've got Saka, Wanyeri on the other side, then they get a striker. Okay, I'm listening. It's lagging. What? I'm lagging. I'm not seeing anything lagging. There's no lag on this. You're lying. Ben, you're lying. Back to TTI got. Mate, you're lying. There's no issue. Gav, give us Darwin and you can have Mudryk. We need a left-sided winger. Although we don't now. Now we've signed Wirtz, we don't need a left-sided winger. Chance for Porto. Keeper saves it. It's not lagging, it's his connection. I was going to say it can't be lagging because it's fine on TikTok, isn't it? It's definitely not the internet. I don't know what's going on. But everything's fine on TikTok. Everything's fine everywhere else. I'm not seeing any lagging. It must be other people's connection. I don't know why. They're making me freak out. Just gone back to YouTube and it's not lagging now, but it was. As a United fan, sorry, you're not lagging, it's his connection. Sorry, as a United fan, I can see Garnacho going either Spurs or Arsenal. Thoughts? How if it's fine on one platform? I don't know. It's fine everywhere else, so I don't think it's anything to do with the internet, I guess. I don't know why it's doing it on YouTube and only with certain people. But yeah, Gav's saying it's buffering as well, so maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's still the issue from yesterday. Garnacho's a very frustrating player. Good one game, awful the next. Isn't that just Man United to a T, though? That feels like Man United for the entire duration that Garnacho's been in the first team. So maybe... Sometimes there's players, I think there's a certain kind of player who... They're only as good as the team that they're in. Gav for a few seconds, then goes normal, then buffers again. See, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, hang on a minute. Hey, even my TikTok's gone down now. What's going on here? See, do you know what? Yeah, I think that is maybe an issue, you know. I might need to look into it. I don't know why, but we might need to look into it. The guy, Porto, very stupid. That's going to be a free kick, surely, ref. Free kick to Porto here. Free kick to Porto. 15, 20 minutes to go. Jonathan XL Leao has the same. Yeah, that's very true. But you do get games, don't you? I think if you know, when Rafa Leao's playing well for Portugal, Portugal are usually playing well. It's the same with Milan. If they're having a good game, Leao's having a very good game. If the team's struggling and the chips are down, it's not usually Leao that digs them out of it. There's a lot of players who are like that. I don't know if it's a mentality issue. I don't know what it is. But some players kind of thrive when being in a team that's confident and you know, and buzzing. You expect more of those players. You do. Yeah, that's true. It's very true. You do expect more of them, but if you don't get that from them, I think they can still be top class players, but they need the rest of the team to be the ones that drive them forward. Like in an ideal world, you'd have more like Messi's and Gerrards and, you know, players who can do it when the team are really struggling. The rest of the team are really struggling. They're all having a really bad day, and then they produce a moment of magic. Leao and Garnacho often aren't those players. I think Ahmad is, though. Ahmad is. I would say that at United. That's certainly a United player I would say has got that potential, that quality. Seen United having really terrible games, and Ahmad will step up and do something incredible. The scrum down, Jordi Alba. This is Barcelona light, this Miami team. Well, Frey and Allende have just gone off for Miami, and on comes Pico and Alba. Jordi Alba entering the fray. Reveal clothing. Garnacho's very greedy though, and always tries to win games himself instead of passing. And maybe that shows a lack of faith in his teammates. And if I'm honest, maybe a justified lack of faith in his teammates. If his teammates aren't particularly good, and he knows they're not particularly good, you know, it doesn't surprise me that maybe he wants more of the ball. Give me the ball, pass me the ball, I'll do something with it. And you know, it's that sort of a thing. Gerrard was like that. I remember Gerrard, literally, it's a very famous thing that happened with Gerrard in a European game. I don't know if it was it a Champions League game or a UEFA Cup game? I can't remember. But basically, the ball got passed. It was literally sprayed across the pitch from our right back, which at the time I think might have been Steve Finnan. I think Steve Finnan passed the ball across the pitch to Jimmy Traore, right? And it went over Gerrard's head, and Gerrard sprinted from the centre circle all the way over to the left-back position to take the ball off Jimmy Traore. Literally refused to let him have the ball because he didn't think that Jimmy Traore was very good, basically. And he didn't want him on the ball. In a key moment of the game, I think Liverpool were chasing the game, and Jimmy Traore didn't want him on the ball. He literally ran over and took it off him. And I don't mean like ran over and asked him for the ball. The ball was going to Jimmy Traore's feet, and Gerrard sprinted over and took it off him. It's so common with top players or players who believe they are very good. So I don't think that that's necessarily anything against Garnacho. CR7 had that as a young player as well, wanting to score. Yeah, it's common. Yeah, when you get good players, they're selfish. They want the ball. They believe that they can do what they need to help the team. And you kind of don't want to distinguish that. You do want players who can pass and but the best players are selfish. That's it. Look at Salah. Salah and Mane, it's come out after. Look how good Salah and Mane were together. And it's come out after that they basically hated each other's guts. They didn't like each other. They were forever arguing. Salah was always saying that Mane didn't pass. Mane was always saying that Salah didn't pass. And they didn't really get on all that much. But what an unbelievable partnership they were. Gav's highlights, this could also be the reason you're a second out of sync on some videos, because if you buffer, it tries to sort it out when you finish it, then YouTube uploads it. Yeah, maybe. So if maybe there is a little buffer at some, maybe at 1 point or 2 points. Maybe that's what's happening. Yeah. I don't know why it would be, though. This is so annoying. I'm going to have to figure something out, aren't I? I'm going to maybe have to have a little... And again, it's mad that it's only on some videos. Like, it's not on all videos, and it's not throughout all the streams. It's just in certain moments. I'll have a look. But you've maybe put me onto something as well. Gavs, did you buffer on those streams as well, mate? Well, I'll level with you, Gav. Honestly, it's only been the last 2 nights. Like, so last night I actually had to end a stream because it was buffering so much, and I don't know why. There was no reason for it, but it was buffering so much. Everyone was telling me that it kept freezing, so I ended the stream and I restarted it. It still buffered a little bit, but not as much. So last night's game, we watched England against Germany. It finished 2-1, and the stream is actually in 2 parts. That's how bad it was, because I needed to end the stream. But it's never buffered before, or at least never to my knowledge. Nobody has ever told me in the chat, Key, it's buffering. Key, you need to do something about the buffering. Nobody has told me anything about buffering or anything. Nobody's complained about it, to my memory, to my knowledge. Maybe guys, you might be able to tell me different. Nobody's told me anything about it until probably the last couple of streams, like the last couple of days. So, but then there have been problems with YouTube and third-party streamers in the last couple of days. So I thought it might just be a YouTube thing, but it has predated the last few days with the delay. The delay has predated that. Nationalsecurity.com. Do you think the Club World Cup has been a success or a failure so far? So far, I would say it's been a failure. The fact that we've seen so little people attending the games has been a problem. I think FIFA needed to get ahead of that. FIFA needed to do more, even if it meant giving free tickets away. They needed to do better and make sure those stadiums were full to attract interest and whatever. You know, they could have had competitions. Honestly, they could have given competitions away to people and raised money and done stuff for charity and whatever, and made sure these stadiums were full. People would have travelled all around the world. I genuinely think if you'd have given free tickets away, people would have travelled from England to go and watch these games. I would have done. I absolutely guarantee you I would have done. If someone had told me, I mean, maybe not so much now, I'm skint, but I know for a fact, maybe 12 months ago when I had proper disposable income, I 100% would have gone to one of these games. Would have loved it. I'd have took my dad. Me and my dad would have gone to these games. If they'd have said, free tickets, do you fancy going? If we could have got reasonable flights, I reckon we'd have done that. FIFA would never give free tickets. Well, they did. They did in the end. They did. They just did it too late. They did it too late. That was the problem. Far, far too late. They said to people, I think it was like a week or 2 weeks before the games, they said, they went into universities, colleges in the US, and they said, if you buy a ticket for these games, you can bring up to 4 free people with you. That was how they tried to encourage people to come. And if they did that 2 weeks before and the stadiums are still mostly empty, think how bad it would have been if they hadn't done that. I think they also did another initiative where they said kids under a certain age can go in free. So if you bought a ticket for a kid under 16 or something, then they could go in for free anyway. Reveal clothing, the Club World Cup will definitely affect the teams in the up-and-coming season. Reveal clothing, you could see CR7 getting better each year, where I don't see it with Garnacho. I do. I see an improvement with Garnacho. As a Liverpool fan, as an outsider, I see an improvement. I don't necessarily see a rate of improvement the same as it was with Ronaldo, but I think there's an improvement there for sure. There is an improvement. At least I would argue there is. The guy, congratulations, Messi. It's a free kick. Sorry, it's a corner for Messi. It's a corner for Messi. Lovely ball. Unlucky. Porto are going to get it clear. This is going to be pretty embarrassing for Porto. You've got to say, if they lose this one, you'd have to say it's pretty embarrassing, isn't it? I would have thought that Porto would have done these. It's going to be a foul. Mascherano still as hot-tempered as he always was. Reveal clothing. Do you think we will ever see a player like Messi again? Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe not in our lifetime. Who knows? Maybe it'll be when we get older and we'll all fantasize about how good Messi was. Same way that when you speak to people of the previous generation, they all say, "Oh, Maradona." No, Messi's brilliant, but Maradona. Oh, Maradona was great. There's some people now who'll still argue, who did see Maradona, they'll still argue that even now that Maradona was better than was better than Messi. And if you go back another generation, there's people saying Pele was even better than Maradona. So, you know, sometimes it's like nostalgia. It's a thing that people do just struggle with. You're really buffering now, mate, to be honest. I hate it. I don't know what I can do. Yeah, I don't know what I can do about it. Sucks. Do you know what I might have to try? I'll try for tomorrow night. I'll try resetting the router, and I'll plug it straight back into the laptop so I get a super fast connection, and I'll see what happens with tomorrow night's stream. Hopefully it's a bit better. It's frustrating this, because there's nothing you can do about it. Fayaz, Messi is just too good. James, Robin was better than Zola. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Robin definitely was better than Zola. Great ball in for Porto. Chance this, hit it. Oh, miles over. Absolutely shocking. Samu smashes it over the bar. Calm down, lads. Porto are awful. They are, but Messi but Miami shouldn't be beating him either, I've got to say. I don't think Miami have been great all season. Toby, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, Toby. I'm a Liverpool fan, but we watch everyone on this channel. Gav, it might be buffering because you've too many things open on your setup and the Wi-Fi can't handle it. Possibly. Yeah, possibly. Maybe if I turn... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that is the case. Maybe it's a bandwidth issue. I'll try and figure it out, but I don't understand why that would be the case, but maybe you're right. I'll look into it for tomorrow. Because it literally has only started happening in like the last couple of days. Maybe it's a heat thing. Like, again, if you're anywhere in the UK, you know how hot it's been the last couple of days. Maybe it's the heat. Maybe the pipes just can't take it. Or the cables, rather. Whatever it is. Toby, who's the best Liverpool signing from Southampton other than Van Dijk and Mane, in your opinion? Best Liverpool signing from Southampton other than Van Dijk and Mane? Well, in my lifetime, we've not had too many. I mean, Lallana, possibly, he was all right. I mean, we won a lot with Lallana. I'll tell you, it might be. Peter Crouch is my favourite. I loved Peter Crouch. He was great. Top player, Peter Crouch. I don't think we signed anyone else from you, have we? Dejan Lovren. Lovren had some great moments for Liverpool. Yeah, maybe. I would say probably Crouch, then Lovren, then Lallana. Because Lovren got a bit of a hard, he got a bit of a bad rep at Liverpool, but he was a good centre-back. He just had some, like, major brain farts at times. But he had some great moments for us as well. Klein was okay. He was alright. He wasn't anything special, but he was okay. Ricky Lambert was pretty dreadful. But Van Dijk and Mane topped a lot of them. Schneiderlin from Man United, God. Liam Whelan 77. Who do I support? I support Liverpool, Liam. Crouchy's so underrated. Crouchy was exceptional. Jonathan XL, Nick Volter made us the build of Crouch, but so much smoother with the ball. Mate, do you realise how smooth Peter Crouch was with the ball? Peter Crouch was like Bergkamp, but he was 7 foot tall. He was massive, but he was so good. Do you know what? I'll tell you this. I have never ever known a guy so tall as Peter Crouch be so shit with his head. He was shocking in the air. He was absolutely awful in the air. Couldn't really score headers. In fact, at the time Peter Crouch was at Liverpool, our best header of the ball was probably Luis Garcia, who was about 5'3", and Peter Crouch was probably our best, first touch, and honestly, he was fantastic first touch, wonderful first touch, good finisher, could score overhead kicks. He could, he had a great technical ability. Peter Crouch, often really underrated as well, I think. And he did wonderfully well at Portsmouth, did wonderfully well at Spurs. He had a great England career as well. Crouch is one of those players I really wish Liverpool had stuck with, because I think he was a Liverpool player through and through. Wonderful player, really liked him. Still a Liverpool legend as well. Well, we're 4.5 minutes into the 7. Is it? 4.5 minutes into the 7. We've got another 2.5 minutes or so to go before the end of this game. The guy, are you watching Atletico Madrid and Alvarez to score any time? No, I'm not watching Atletico tonight, mate. After this game, that's me done for the night. Gav highlights, my mate used to stream on all platforms, but his Wi-Fi just couldn't handle the extra streams. Well, do you know what? That's a good point. I stream through Streamlabs. And do you think maybe streaming to... I don't know if streaming to multiple places would make much of a difference, to be honest, but maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe it does. I guess I could try streaming to fewer places. I'll just see, because it's new. It's all new to me, and to be honest, I've never had any issues until the last couple of nights. So the only variable has maybe been the heat. That's the only thing I can think of. Reveal clothing, most underrated Liverpool player in the Premier League era. Most underrated Liverpool player. That's a question. Most underrated. See, there's some that I would look at and I would say I think there's some that I would argue are better than they got credit for. Like, for example, I would argue that Van Dijk is the greatest centre-back of all time. I would argue that Alisson is the